I broke up with my ex when she got pregnant. The reason was that we didn't have intimacy for 15 weeks. I worked for 6 weeks and then I get 3 weeks off. I was home for 5 days during the 3 weeks and we didn't have any intimacy. My grandfather had passed away, so I went out to my grandma's house to help her. So there were 15 weeks where any kid she got pregnant with was not mine. She didn't tell our friends and family that information though, so they all thought I was just an irresponsible idiot who knocked her up and ran away. On the off chance that she got pregnant before those 15 weeks and she just didn't know, I said that I would agree to get back and pay child support if it was mine. She said she didn't want me back, just child support. So be it. I understand how evil I would be if I was wrong. I was not. The baby boy was born right after the amount of the pregnancy for it to have happened while I was not the father. A bunch of our friends and family are insisting that I should pay child support because we were together when she got pregnant. She even tried taking me to court. I just paid a lawyer to deal with it. I'm not the father. We weren't living together. I'm not on the birth certificate. This is not my problem. She's going around crying to people that I'm a monster for leaving her like this. She said that she would have never have had the baby had she known that I wouldn't stick around to help. Blah, blah, blah. Most people are on my side now, but not my mom, my sister, one of my aunts, and several friends. So I made a public Facebook post. I said that everyone who thought I should pay child support could sign a contract stating that they would help pay the child support and that I would match whatever they paid. But it had to be a legal contract and it had to be for 18 years. Nobody signed up. I posted screenshots of messages from all of them saying that I needed to step up. I got blocked a lot. My sister, who's friends with my ex, said I was an idiot for expecting other people to pay child support for a kid that wasn't theirs. I took a screenshot of that message, which is the header of my profile on Facebook. My sister blocked me. My mom finally understands that I'm not willing to throw away money. She's just sad because my ex is her friend's daughter. This whole thing made me seem like an idiot, but I don't think I'm an idiot for pointing out their hypocrisy. Edit. When I say I was not, I meant that we got a paternity test and I proved that I'm not the father. I just didn't go by time or anything like that. The kid isn't yours. You're not the idiot. She not only cheated, but got pregnant with another guy's child, and she expects you to pay child support. And I like your idea of the friends and the family pushing you to pay it to match their contribution. But the execution might have been not the best, putting it out on social media. I would have just ignored or blocked the people who would tell me to pay child support if I were in such a situation. Your ex is the biggest idiot here. Ex is the biggest idiot, but not the only one. Mom, friends, and aunt keep her excellent company in the land of idiots. They should have stepped up and supported her then. And who cares if she's your sister's friend? Your sister probably knew that she was cheating on you. Did you ask her that? And your friends too. Your sister is also an idiot. She said that you're an idiot to expect other people to pay for a kid that's not theirs, but she wants you to do that? It was smart to put those screenshots on there. They may have blocked you, but everyone else is seeing it. Where's the guy she cheated on you with? Why aren't they going after him? She probably doesn't know who the real baby daddy is, or if she does know but can't say because he's already got a wife. But I don't see the need for public Facebook posts. Just move on. Friends and family are there for you or they're not, but don't dwell on them. You know the truth and the courts do as well. And I'm sorry, but the women in your family are awful. My daughter-in-law lost both of her parents, her mother earlier this year, and her dad when she was a teen. I love her like she's my own, and I'm so proud of how far she's come. I'm very involved in my church, and we were planning an event for moms and kids. It coincided with my monthly sack lunch ministry for seniors. So in the morning, we'd all make the lunches and then we'd do other things. Make friendship bracelets, run around, grill, tie-dye, etc. My daughter-in-law is not religious, but she does like to give back. So when I invited her, she accepted. We got the lunch supplies and she helped with the lunches. She even offered to go deliver them to our organization since she has a big car. This is when the church organizer, Kathy, started an issue. She thanked my daughter-in-law and said that would be all we needed from her all day and she could go home after. I said, no, Daughter-in-law's here to spend the day with me and have fun with everyone. Kathy had the gall to make an ugly face and said, "She's not anyone's daughter." I said, "That's okay, she's my daughter-in-law," if Kathy didn't know. Kathy made another ugly face and said that it didn't count and that she didn't even belong here, which ruffled my feathers. Everyone should be allowed. If one of the dads had wanted to come join us, I would have said yes. Who cares? We got into an argument, and my daughter-in-law ended up crying. Again, she just lost her mom. She left and told me to have fun. I rounded on Kathy and told her that what she'd just done was as unchristian as I'd ever seen. And if she can't find it in her heart to welcome everyone to our events, she should not be the volunteer organizer. Kathy told me tough cookies, and if I didn't like it, to take it up with the church office. A few other members overheard, and as I got ready to load up my van for the sack lunches, a few helped me and talked about how awful Kathy had been. After I left, they all cornered Kathy and said they would all speak to the church office. She isn't the organizer anymore and has been for over 2 decades. She ended up confronting me after church, raising her voice, getting in my face, etc. She told me I had ruined her life over my daughter-in-law not belonging to the church, and that she hoped I was happy. I admit I did feel bad after that, but I'm not sure if I should. Not the idiot. And please, 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 don't feel bad that the angry old woman ruined her own position at the church. I was raised in a church, but my family fell out when people like Kathy started taking all the leadership positions, and no one stood up to them. That church has since become a haven for hatred, and it makes me so sad. People like Kathy give religious people a bad name, and they don't deserve any power within the church. Wow, what a cruel, small-minded busybody Kathy is. What harm was there in including your daughter-in-law? Who was hurt by her presence? I love how she was good enough to help with the task and chores, but not good enough to stay for the relaxed fun part? It is very telling that it's all the people who helped you who complained to the powers that be. It means that it wasn't just you who was outraged about Kathy's actions. And I'll bet that it wasn't just about this one incident, that there are other incidents in the past. If getting booted from this one even ruined Kathy's life, then she didn't have much of a life to begin with. Trust me, you didn't cause this. Kathy's own behavior caused this. She simply doesn't want to take responsibilities for her own choices. My ex-wife, 35, and I, 30 male, divorced 2 years ago, and we have 2 kids together, a young grammar school-age female and a male pretween. I pay a substantial amount of child support each month, which is supposed to cover their living expenses, food, clothing, school supplies, etc. Recently, I discovered that my ex-wife has been using a large portion of this money to fund vacations with her new boyfriend. They just returned from a week-long Disney World trip, and this isn't the first time they've splurged on lavish trips. Meanwhile, my kids have mentioned that they often eat ramen noodles for dinner and that their shoes are getting too small. In response to this, she bought them dollar store flip-flops that fell apart the same day. I was furious when I heard this. I felt betrayed and couldn't stand the thought of my kids being neglected while she was off having fun. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. In a fit of rage, I told my ex-wife that I would be withholding child support until she could prove the money was being spent on the kids. She didn't take me seriously, so I went a step further. Last weekend, I picked up the kids for my regular visitation. Instead of taking them home on Sunday, I kept them with me. I sent my ex-wife a message saying that she wouldn't see the kids again until she refunded the money she wasted on vacations and could prove she was spending child support correctly. I know this was extreme, but I felt desperate and wanted to protect my kids from her irresponsibility. My ex-wife is now threatening to call the police and take me to court, but I genuinely believe that what I did was in the best interest of my children. I plan to take this to court to get a modification to ensure the money goes directly to the kids' needs. So, am I the idiot for withholding child support and taking drastic measures to ensure my kids' well-being? I know it sounds crazy, but I felt I had no choice. Am I being unreasonable here? Dude, you can't refuse to send the kids back home. You want to do this right. Take her to court, get custody of your kids, and get child support from her. You are the idiot for using your kids as weapons against your ex-wife. Disney World sounds like a family holiday rather than a romantic couple's holiday, so she's entitled to take her kids on holiday with child support. You're speculating that she used it to fund her boyfriend's trip too. Also, if it's a new boyfriend, how can they have gone on vacation already? If you're so concerned about the shoes, you would have bought your kids some new shoes. But be honest with yourself. You're angry because she went on holiday, not because your children may be neglected. Sorry, but I'm not buying this whole, my wife spends all the child support on luxury vacations, and I don't have any custody because I got screwed over. 1. You don't have custody because you obviously have poor decision-making skills, and you're angry that your ex is happy and going on vacation, and you're bitter and angry and using the whole child support issue as your drum to beat. However, I am curious about what you consider a substantial amount for 2 children each month. She isn't neglecting them by feeding them ramen a few times and getting cheap flip-flops, so stop that nonsense right now. Also, child support doesn't mean that you don't buy your children clothes and shoes. You are the idiot for so many reasons, for so many reasons. Update. I called my ex and she's coming to get the kids. I'm sorry if I upset you, but she has promised not to press any charges, but is asking for extra money. Here's a little context for our problem. My male 25, girlfriend 26, is a teacher who just started her summer break. At the current moment, we occasionally sleep in separate bedrooms because she is an extremely light sleeper, and she really can't fall asleep when I'm in bed with her. My bedroom's on the top floor of our townhouse and she's in the basement. As of late, I've been consistently waking up at 6:45 a.m. or 7 a.m. This wasn't always the case, as I've always liked to sleep in a little more, but I've recently made a lot of lifestyle changes, and I've wanted to start waking up earlier to get ahead of the day. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how quiet I am going downstairs, she still manages to wake up. Our floors on the middle floor are creaky, and they manage to wake her up every time. It wasn't an issue when we had opposite schedules. I would sleep in a little longer, and she would wake up early for school, but she would still restrict me to the top floor during the night, so I didn't wake her up. I didn't really have a problem with that since everything I need is on the top floor of our townhouse. Today I came downstairs, literally tiptoeing to get a measuring cup for my morning protein shake. I also let the cat out. The door's a little noisy, and immediately went back upstairs. She came up 5 minutes later and got really angry at me for waking her up, slamming her door on her way back downstairs. I find this manipulative, controlling, and selfish behavior. Still, I wanted to get more perspective on the issue before confronting her. Am I being unreasonable here? I feel she shouldn't interrupt my morning routine like this, especially since I have work. Not the idiot. You aren't actively being loud or trying to wake her. She needs to invest in some noise-canceling headphones or put some sound dampening in the basement. That being said, if the stairs are the issue, and I assume you have to go down them at some point before she wakes up, no matter when you leave for work, why don't you guys switch rooms? Switching rooms is a solution we've already explored, but this has 3 problems. She wanted the basement because it's a bigger space. I don't care enough to be down there, but being there is her prerogative. She doesn't like how my mattress feels. In fact, the mattress was originally hers, but we switched because she liked mine better. Moving all of our belongings between rooms is also too much of a pain. My office is on the top floor. The basement has only 1 room. I value separating my work life from my home life, so I need my own office space. I also pay extra rent for it. Unfortunately, if we did switch, I feel she would complain that I'm too noisy in the office. So she took the bigger space because she assumed it was better at the start. She stole your mattress. You're still worried even if you bend over backwards that she'll still act the same. Sorry to say, but your girlfriend sounds like an immature, spoiled brat. And if I were you, I wouldn't still be hanging around. I'm going to assume that these aren't the only flags of bad partnership, but it's the one you've noticed because it's a recurring issue. Her issue, by the way, not yours. Your girlfriend sounds like a massive idiot. Apologies for being so blunt, but it sounds like she's treating you like a lodger rather than a partner. My brother was married for many years and had 3 children with his ex-wife. 7 years ago, they divorced. 4 years ago, my brother got serious with his current wife, and they have 2 children together. one born and another on the way. My brother's children from his relationship with his ex-wife are now all teens and young adults, 19 and under. It was pretty clear from the get-go that the kids weren't okay with him remarrying. They pulled back and he followed them so they wouldn't withdraw too much. He tried to get them and his wife on good terms and them to come to terms with his new babies on the way. No matter what my brother does, the kids are not okay with it. They told him to his face that they don't want a step-family, so they're choosing not to have a relationship with him. He's ignored this, and he continues to chase them. He's tried therapy, but the kids refuse to participate. They went physically, but said nothing. He's tried going out with all the kids to eat and encouraging them to interact with the youngest, but they didn't. Now 2 of them no longer go to his house at all and make zero effort to stay in touch, while the younger of the 3 goes only when legally obliged to and uses all their time doing other things, so they're not with them. The reason for all this is they don't see blended families as real families. They don't want to be in one, don't want to accept siblings who aren't full-blooded siblings, and do not want to have a parent spouse in their lives. Nothing and nobody can change their minds. They don't see blended families as positive or even a neutral thing. It's all negative to them. That's a whole thing that I won't go into too much, but they told my brother about it. So when he spoke to me recently about how sad it makes him, I empathized with him and offered him a shoulder to lean on and support. I told him he did all he could to make it work. When he said he just didn't know what to do, I told him he needed to start listening to the kids instead of trying to make things work. I reminded him that the kids have been very clear about their feelings on his remarriage and additional kids, and if they refuse to give therapy a go and refuse to be around them, then he needs to listen and refocus, because it won't do his younger 2 kids any good to be rejected constantly. And it won't bring the kids in if they're so anti-blended family. He's told me he's very disappointed that I wouldn't see that he couldn't do that as a parent and that it's his job to keep trying and never give up. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. He wants what he wants. What his children want isn't important to him. You've done as much as you can. Pretending that it'll all turn out as he wants isn't going to help him. Has he ever considered his children's disappointment? With what? The fact that their father is an adult and has a romantic relationship with someone? Sorry, but the kids are being the idiots here. This isn't about forcing a relationship with anyone. This is about dad's kids writing him off for having a relationship. That's why they're idiots. Do you think it's reasonable for the kids to demand he live his life alone? I just wonder if they were taught to be anti-blended family when the divorce started as a way to separate them from their father. This is a no-win for the brother. He didn't run right out after the divorce and remarry. He waited 4 years. Did they think he should stay single forever? He's getting told reaching out and continuing to try to have a relationship is somehow not respecting what the teens want. But if he stops, he'll be told he abandoned them for a new family. OP, you are the idiot.